Hello and welcome to Class 3 Coaching. This is National Sales Director Ari Hathaway. Thank you for joining us at Pink Bootcamp. If you want to download the PDF file that goes along with this training, right here in the description of this YouTube video, you'll see a link and it'll take you to our Pink Bootcamp Hub. And we're going to get started by just recapping real quickly here something that's really important, and that is our full circle success chart. And so I covered this in the last training, what 360-degree full circle success looks like. And that looks like this. The very first thing you do is you book an appointment. And we reviewed that in class number 2. And now class number 3 is coaching. And what is coaching? Coaching is the art of keeping your appointments. And then we'll review selling and then finally sharing the Mary Kay business opportunity. So we're here on this full circle success wheel and how one leads to the other, leads to the other, and leads to the next. All right. So if you have your Pink Bootcamp manual right in front of you. I know this is really small here, so I really do hope that you have it with you. So I'm going to switch to this view so you can actually see my face. And I'll be reviewing these notes. Well, as I just shared, the definition of coaching is the art of keeping your appointment. I have to tell you guys, it is not luck. It's work. You simply need to follow through to the next step. And really, if I could break down the word coaching into anything, it's following up and following through. And I just want to give you guys a few coaching tips or coaching wisdom. And I would say that as you coach your appointments, it decreases your cancellations and it increases your hold rate. So to me, this was really important because I had a full-time job when I started my Mary Kay business. I didn't have time to do this if things were going to be canceling. That was very disheartening and disappointing to me, and I didn't want to deal with all of that. But I did understand that cancellations were a natural part of the equation. I'll give you an example. Raise your hand if you have ever canceled a hair appointment, a nail appointment, a doctor's appointment. All right, doctors save people's lives, and you've canceled a doctor's appointment. So will you get cancellations? Yes, you will. I'm just sharing that with you so that it changes your level of expectation so that you don't feel completely frustrated and go, oh my goodness, I'm getting canceled on. I'm here to just let you know now you will have cancellations. However, you want to work the numbers to remove the emotion out of the equation. And we reviewed that last week, that when you book 3, when coaching all 3, 1 will hold. Now, that doesn't mean the other 2 are gone forever. We do teach you how to rebook the 2 that canceled. They're not gone forever. We just move them on to the next date and the next date and the next date. So if you really want to have a packed agenda, like I only had Friday nights to work my Mary Kay business because not only did I work a full-time job, I also had to log 30 hours of study time in order to pursue my career as an actuary. So I actually used to book 3 parties for Friday night, all three hostesses would coach them all. And inevitably only once did I actually have 2 of the 3 parties hold. I called up one of my team members and I dovetailed it to her. Okay. And so I made money from her party that I gave to her and the one that I kept. All right. So I just want you to know that it is so important that you overbook. But here's a few other tips. Like I said, it's not luck, but 80% of the sales do require 5 attempts, and 44% of salespeople quit after the first try. So you have to decide that you're not going to be part of the 44% that quits after the first try. Mary Kay Ash, our founder, said, if it's worth booking, then it's worth coaching. And so I believe that coaching is a gift. Why? The goal of coaching is to connect. Connection. And you want to connect with your hostess often because hostesses are vital to growing a successful business. So you want to be generous with them, but you also want to be communicative with them. So let's go through party planning. First, I want to talk about coaching hostesses. Then I'll talk about coaching guests for the parties. Then I'll share on coaching your facials, just appointments that you have, as well as guests to events that your unit has or your national area has. And then I'm going to go through exactly what I just stated for virtual appointments. So I'm first going to go through the in-person and then the virtual. All right, so let's go through party planning 101. First of all, I have to say that if you don't have a guest list, and I'll make this a little bigger here so you can see it. If you don't have a guest list, you don't have a party. Okay. I'm going to just tell you that there's really very, 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 very few exceptions to that rule. So how do you get a guest list? All right. This is how you get the guest list. You just have to expect it. And I taught you how to expect it at the last class by mentioning it several times throughout your party. You let them know that that's what the back of the card is for. They can start making a guest list so that they can earn free and they can share you with their friends. And so that's how you get it. But that initial guest list is on the back of the profile card. And you want to memorize and repeat the script to turn any appointment into a party. And last week we covered that if you are memorizing your scripts, you're a pro. You're a pro, you are a boss babe. All right, the second thing is you want to be the one who sends out the invites. If I let someone else send out the invitations, I'm literally leaving my success in someone else's hands. Like, what if they don't send them out? What if they don't prioritize it? What if they think they could just do it 3 days before and everybody's going to show up? So RSVP, so I want to send them out. I'm like, girl, you ain't got time for that. I'll send them all out for you. I can help you. I can do that, right? Also, if she insists on sending them out, I know that in class 2 booking, I did share with you a script, that a text message invite that you send to her and she just copies and pastes it. But the RSVP on the invitation is always to you. You collect the RSVPs. So you want to make sure that they have your number. And what I usually do is when they book an RSVP, I give them a gift. And it's really simple. I just use the little mini hand lotions. They're very inexpensive. And I wrap it up with a little bow inside of a little organza bag. I just, congratulations, I have your gift for you. Can't wait to see you Saturday at 2 p.m. at Sarah's party. That's it. I just sent him a picture. And I do want to mention that we don't always text invites. You may want to do snail mail, as we'll call it. It could be an option. It definitely helps you stand out. It's an unexpected form of communication nowadays. And you can put stickers and handwritten notes on it. And this is fun. And it also kind of like reminds you of middle school. All right. The last tip I want to share with you is you do want to pre-profile your guest with questions. Now, the point of this is also connecting. Okay. Why? As soon as they RSVP, you want to say, thank you so much. Can't wait to see you at Sarah's party Saturday at 2. And I have a few quick questions for you. Do you prefer that I text you or call you? And if they prefer a call, you pick up the phone and ask them the questions. Otherwise, you text it to them one at a time. Also, you can create a Google form link where you just text them the link and they answer the questions. But they're right here. Have you ever tried Mary Kay before? Yes or no? Which best describes your skin type? Normal, dry, combination, or oily? Select your biggest concerns, and they can put in there all the ones that they want. But do you want to prevent fine lines and wrinkles or reverse fine lines and wrinkles? Do you want to address uneven skin tone, dark spots, under eye puffiness, dark circles, breakouts or acne, or reduce your pore size and have smoother skin? So they can mark down, and you could also put in other category. And then you ask, after your beauty session, will you share your feedback on the experience? And they can put yes. So that way they know that, yeah, I'm going to be asking for your feedback. I'm going to want your feedback during this part. All right. So let's talk about coaching our hostess now. Let's say my party's on Saturday. I'm just going to pretend 3 days before. So now I'm talking about Wednesday. Okay. I'm going to call her. I want to have a conversation. I never do this over texting. This is so important for an in-person party that you have this type of connection. So I'm going to call Sarah. Hey, Sarah, do you have a few minutes? I just want to talk about Saturday. She's like, yeah. I'm like, well, I want you to know that I have 3 RSVPs. I have your mom, your sister, and your cousin. Do you have anybody else besides that? She's like, oh my goodness, yeah, my 2 coworkers are going. I'm like, what are their names? I write them down. Will you tell them to text me so I can give them their gift? I don't have them down. They didn't text me back. Yeah. Okay, perfect. So that is the RSVP. Then I talked to her about the Hostess program. I said, well, I want to remind you that when 6 guests attend, you get 50% off your entire order. So if you can get one more person to come, you're going to get 50% off your order. Do you have another coworker or sister? Who should I resend the invite to for on your behalf, right? And then I do let her know that when she reaches 10, she gets the free hydrogel eye patches. Now, if she's like, oh my goodness, so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so can't come, but they really wanted stuff, this is up to you if you want to. I would do this. I would say, well, if they place an outside party order, that'll help you get to your 10 so you can get your free hydrogel eye patches as long as it's a $50 order or above. Okay. She's like, oh, really? Yeah. So, and I'm going to talk about that in just a second. Okay. But also, Sarah, I am going to do your makeup appointment before your friends get there. I know they're going to get there at 2. Is it okay if I get there at 1 so I could do your makeup? Just have your face washed and moisturized with your Miracle Set. And she says, yes. Now, you may not have a lot of experience with this, girls, but you just put CC cream, use the color card, mascara, and lipstick. I'm going to tell you this. You've got to know this. I had never seen a makeover appointment. I had not received a makeover appointment when I gave my first makeover appointment to my hostess before my party, and my recruiter walked me through it on the phone, and that's basically what she said to me. And this is what she said. She's like, Ari, nobody looks worse with just a little bit of makeup on. Nobody. Everybody looks and feels better. And she's right. It's psychological. Just a little bit of makeover just makes everybody look and feel better. So you want to make sure that you do her appointment right before. Assistant, I let her know. So I'll be there at 1. Perfect. Now, Sarah, I really would love for you to be my assistant during the party, like handing out the raffle tickets, kind of like the way your cousin did at your party. Hopefully she's seen one already. And also, if anybody comes late, if I give you the satin hands, would you be able to do that with them in the bathroom? And this is what I do because I don't want to keep stopping my party. Okay. All right. And then I talked to her about beverages and snacks. Okay. So let's talk about food. I'm going to highly recommend that you serve any finger foods that you have after we do our facials. Because if they're eating while they're doing a facial and they have a zit the next day, they're going to think it's Mary Kay when it was like the cookie they were eating. And she's like, oh my God, that makes sense. I'm like, yeah. So if you could bring it out as soon as we finish the facials, I'm going to share the Mary Kay business opportunity. That would be the perfect time for you guys for you to bring it out. And she'll say, yeah. And really just keep it simple, like finger food, sparkling water. That would be absolutely perfect. And she's like, oh, well, I want to serve wine or mimosas or alcohol. It's her house, you guys. Like, you can't tell people what they can and cannot serve at their home. But Mary Kay always taught us to not have alcohol parties. Actually, statistics show that people, the only thing they can decide to do when they're drinking is to drink more or eat more, but not make purchases. So it does not actually increase your party sales. So I just want to tell you what I say. I say, yes, if you want to serve wine, that's totally fine. I do have a recommendation. So, many times wine makes people's faces red and sweaty. So can we serve it after we're done with the facials? And also, if somebody's drinking too much, when we do mascara, if they poke out their eye, girl, I don't have insurance for that. Like, seriously, somebody could get hurt. And usually my hostess starts laughing like, oh my God, are you serious? Like, I'm like, yeah, like you just don't know who that day decides to be a lush because she had a bad morning or what. I don't know. So if as soon as we're done with facials, you can, and that really allows me to get through my presentation without people being ridiculously rowdy, interrupting me all the time. And then they're much more tapered because it sets a tone for the type of event that we're having. We're having an empowering event and relaxing. It is relaxing, but I'm empowering you with knowledge about how to take care of your skin longer, right? Okay, so that's that. And then I say, I have a black tablecloth that I would love to bring. What size is your dining table? And the reason why I pack a black tablecloth, girls, and it could be plastic, it doesn't have to be cloth, is because it really helps the product pop off the table. And it really helps you with cleanup as well, too. It's pretty simple. Okay. Now I do let her know. I say, well, this is adult pampering. I know all the moms are going to have so much fun without their kids, but did anybody have a tween or a teenager that they wanted to bring so that she could learn about skincare as well, too? So that's kind of like how I mentioned that, I do ask her, I say, now, Sarah, you're going to get a free microdermabrasion kit when two of your friends decide to help me and host a party for me. Who do you think those two are? That way I know, and I write them down. And then I'll say, also, when I share the Mary Kay business opportunity, who do you think would be a great business owner? And I want to tip off, guys. I want to know who she thinks would be great so I could keep my eye on them. And I could tell them, actually, I was talking to Sarah and she said out of everybody here, you'd be the best. What do you girls think? And then I let that whole table recruit that girl. Okay. And then also to increase sales, I do encourage her to get outside orders from those that cannot attend. To me, if I have 10 orders, including those that are at the party, I will give her free hydrogel eye patches. Okay. After the party, I always want to send her a thank you card or a message. Handwritten would be great. All right. So let's talk about the guests to the party. Usually I text them the invitation to the party or add them to the group chat right away. We talked about that in our last class. As soon as they RSVP, I send them the picture of what they earn, like the mini hand lotion. And then I tell them I would love to ask them some questions about their skin. Do they want me to call them or ask them the questions over text or send them the link, whichever one you're choosing to do. And I want to pre-profile them right away. Pre-profiling your guests creates a connection with them. It establishes you as a skin expert, whether you are or are not, okay? And they're going to lean on you for consulting, which is what you are, a beauty consultant. All right. Now, about 3 days before, I also want to send her a message reminding her, hey, I can't wait to see you Saturday. Did you know that if you bring a friend, you get an extra gift? Okay. And that is how I prompt her. So 3 days before the party is actually key. I'm not only having this conversation with the hostess, I'm also reminding all the guests that when they bring a friend, they get a gift. And sometimes I make a joke out of it. Like if I could leave a voice text, I'm like, you know how us girls are, that if one of us has to go to the bathroom, we're all like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom too. Like we all love to go places with our friends. Do you have a friend that you want to bring? Because if you bring her, you get a gift. And as long as you make it fun and realistic, I think people are just so much more open. Now, one day before the party, I do send them a reminder text message. Hey, can't wait to meet you tomorrow. Here's Sarah's address or the link, the Google link to her address. Okay. Now the day of the party, I send them a, hey, hope you've had a great day. And if not, don't worry, you're going to have a great night. First one to arrive gets a surprise from me. Okay. Now, if the party's at night, if the party's in the afternoon, I can say, hey, I hope you've had a great morning. If not, don't worry, we're going to have an awesome afternoon. First one to arrive gets a special surprise for me. Right. If the party's on a Saturday morning, I'll text them Friday night. Hey, happy Friday. I hope you had a great night. Don't worry if you didn't. We're going to have an awesome morning tomorrow. Right. Like you can tailor it. After the party, I love to send a handwritten thank you card or message. And of course, when I send that, I want to remind them about their second appointment. It was so great to meet you. Thank you for being there. Thank you for supporting my Mary Kay business. And I can't wait to see you at your next appointment on Tuesday at 3 p.m. Okay. So that's really important. Before I go into this very next section on how to coach your guest, this is kind of like a sample texting stream of what that would look like, right? So I immediately say, hey, Maria, it's Ari, Sarah's Mary Kay girl. I got your RSVP. Woohoo. I'm so excited to see you Saturday at 2 at her home. It'll be lots of fun and tons of beauty tips. And she's like, yay, me too. And then 3 days before, hey, Maria, I'm excited to see you tomorrow. Well, that should say I'm excited to see you Saturday, not tomorrow. That's a typo. At 2 p.m. at Sarah's house. Here's a pic of your gift simply for your RSVP. And feel free to forward the invite to a friend and claim another gift. Who would you like to invite? Have a great day. Okay. And then the day before, hey, Maria, tomorrow we party at 2 at Sarah's. Here's her address or Google link just in case if you need it. And I have your gifts for you too. And then about 3 to 4 hours prior, again, if the party's early in the morning, the night before, hey, I hope you had a great day. And if not, no worries. It's going to be a great night at your beauty session tonight. Special prize for the first to arrive. Okay. So I just wanted you to see what that looks like. And their responding obviously cues you in that, hey, they're engaged with you and we're connecting. All right. So now I'm going to cover how to coach your guests, which you just saw me do that. What is the difference between a guest to a party and a facial? I would say the main difference between coaching a guest at a party or a facial, and I'll make this bigger so that you can see it in case you don't have a PDF right in front of you, is that you're connecting with them right away. You are connecting with them to pre-profile. About 2 days before, you want to give directions to where they're going or get directions to where you're going to meet them. The day of the facial is the same thing. Hey, hope you had a great day. If not, it's going to be a lot of fun later. You're going to get pampered. And then a thank you note afterwards. I don't think there's much difference between that and a facial and a guest to an event. The only difference between a facial and a guest to the event is you do want to RSVP your guest over to your sales director. Oh my goodness, I have 2 guests coming to the event on Saturday. Okay, so that's really important because your director probably doesn't have unlimited seating. Okay, all right, so let's talk about virtual appointments. What's the difference between coaching for virtual appointments versus in-person appointments? And I would say that I'm still calling the hostess 3 days before. This is a phone call about how many she has in RSVPs, how many I have, encouraging her to get more RSVPs. And when they RSVP, they get a gift, right? Reminding her about the hostess program. That's all the same. Asking her, who do you think is going to book so that you can get the free microderm kit? Asking her, who do you think would be good at the business? Having her get outside sales to increase party sales. And then you send her a handwritten card afterwards, right? That I think is all the same. You're just leaving out the stuff about the food and the tablecloth and the kids and that type of stuff. Okay. Now, how do you coach a guest to a party? And I'll just go through the scripting because it's right here and it's very similar to how you do a guest that's in person, but you have to send them a link to watch. So you just say, Hey Maria, it's Ari, Susie's Mary Kay girl. I got your RSVP. Woohoo! I'm so excited to see you Saturday at 2. And did your party pack arrive yet? And this is so important. Did your party pack arrive yet? Because we have to mail in the samples for a virtual party. It's going to be lots of fun and lots of beauty tips. Okay. So I am waiting for her reply. I need her to say, yeah, I got it. I'm like, perfect. Now, about one day before the party, I'm going to say, hey, I'm so excited for tomorrow at 2 for Sarah's party. Feel free to forward the invite to a friend and claim another gift. And this is so important because this really is how a party grows. Okay. Who do you want to invite for another gift? All right. About 3 hours before the party. So this is the day before. Hey, Maria, I'll see you at 2 p.m. for Sarah's party. Here's the Zoom link. If it's your first time on Zoom, make sure you get on a little bit earlier to download the free app. I hope you've enjoyed your day and get ready to have an awesome time later today. All right. First to arrive gets a surprise from me. All right. And then 5 minutes before the party starts, I just put, hey, I'm jumping on Zoom. I'll wait for you. Click here to enter the party. Okay. So this keeps the coaching pretty simple. I wanted you to see what that looks like as I review here the tips. I think I just went through them all. I do want you guys to know that I still give a gift if they RSVP to a virtual event. I'll just send them a mini hand lotion in their CDS order because I'll just CDS that to the hostess or I'll CDS it to the guest. So that's all there. When you have a virtual guest to a party, the only difference between that and a facial is that there isn't a price for the first one to jump on because the facial is just one person. Okay. So I immediately send her the invite when she says yes to lending me her face. I absolutely pre-profile her. I prefer to do that over phone so we can connect, but I will text her if I need to. 3 days before, I thank her, and that's a confirmation. And I say, hey, did your beauty pack with samples arrive yet? That's 3 days before. You'll have to notice that the 3-day before mark is just key. It's absolutely key to having a successful business. 3 days before, if we're not connecting, I'm double booking that. I'm like, man, this girl's not returning my calls. I'm going to put another person at that slot. Like that to me is like a key indicator day. So you could put a star next to the 3 days before. And then of course, you know, the day of the facial, hey, hope you had a great day. Can't wait for our facial tonight at 7. And then 5 minutes before, here's the watch link. And then a thank you card afterwards, always. Okay. Another thing that I did want to share with you guys that I think that is so absolutely important. Not only is that you're communicating with them, that you're seeing them reciprocate this type of communication as well too, but that they are excited to help you out with your goal. Okay, that you're mentioning your goal repeatedly. Thank you so much for lending me your face. I only have 25 more to go. I only have 22 more to go. Like that, you're counting them down. All right. Now, when you are doing a Zoom facial as well too, I like to do it with them if it's nighttime. I don't think that there's absolutely anything wrong with that. Like I'm going to go to bed after that. They're going to go to bed after that. Like I might start like this, but then we end up all the same. And that's one of my favorite things about doing nighttime facials. The reality is there's no reason why you can't do 30 faces a day because you're washing your face with someone every night. You're inviting someone to jump into your bathroom absolutely every night. And I would be doing that with people that don't live near me. If they live near me, I want to see them in person, hug them, and do it all. But if they don't live near me, gosh, what a great alternative to be able to connect. Again, coaching is connecting. All right. And the last thing about virtual appointments, I didn't review guests to an event. It's the same as a facial with the exception that you need to RSVP them to your Mary Kay sales director. If you're not RSVPing them to your sales director, then she doesn't know who's going to be there, who to count on, any of that. So I think that that's extremely important as well too. All right. So when you are doing virtual business specifically, I really highly recommend that you have a notebook. It could be a 99-cent notebook to keep track of your virtual parties. Why is that? You want to track the number of parties that you're holding because a physical notebook anchors down your virtual world. Like when everything's virtual, they're sending you the address virtually, they're responding to you on text message. You can feel like you're floating all over the place. Like, oh my gosh, like where's this? Or you're scrolling on your phone. Where's this? Where's it? It is exhausting. So this is like an anchor where you write down the party name, the hostess name, and you start writing down the addresses because I can physically see oh, wow, I don't have any of these in here. Okay. So a cute notebook that inspires you, brings you joy. It keeps it real simple. But also I could see, oh, wow, like I only have 3 addresses and she was supposed to get me 20 so that 10 say yes and 5 show up. Right. So you want to make sure that you're doing that as well too. All right. So here's my challenge to you. Oh my goodness. Can you believe it? You made it to the end. Yay. Okay. So here's my challenge to you. All right. My challenge to you is to consistently coach all of your appointments. That's one. Consistently coach all of your appointments. 3 days before is like a key day to making things happen. Number 2, to double book appointments that you feel are not going to come together. Make sure you double book appointments. I remember once I had somebody finally call me back the day of the party, like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry I'm not able to do the party. I'm like, girl, I didn't hear from you like 5 days ago. I booked another party. And she was like kind of like, what? I'm like, yes, I have a huge goal. I told you I have a huge goal and I really want your help. Can we pick a new date? And that just shows like commitment, that I'm truly committed to this, that I'm treating this like a business, that I'm serious about it and not that I'm just, playing around. All right, so here we go. Next thing that we're going to cover is, there we go. Next class is going to be selling, how to sell the product without coming across like a salesperson. So I do hope that you enjoyed this class. After selling, we're going to be talking about team building, how to share the Mary Kay opportunity naturally with enthusiasm and excitement, and for it to come across genuine and authentic as well too. So I just want to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed Pink Bootcamp. Have a great day. Bye.